Duck. Cover. Duck. Cover. Duck. Cover. Howdy guys, this is CoreCat13. That woman with the deep voice almost said wah wah with the deep voice. That wouldn't have made sense. And we are back with another episode of Super Mario 64. This is the third episode I'm recording in this recording session. And last time, we participated in Ramblefest 96. The episode previous to that was obviously Ramblefest 94. And we also made quite a bit of progress. We actually defeated Wet Dry World. We did another star of Tick-Tock Clock, and we basically almost cleaned out freaking Snowman's Land. So you know what? We might as well beat it. Let's beat this fucking mission. And honestly, it couldn't have been for a better mission than Into the Igloo. But speaking of that, man, that reminds me so much of Super Mario 63. Like, if you guys don't know what Super Mario 63 is, it's this Flash game that combines Super Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine together. And, it's actually a really interesting game. It's definitely a little different from Super Mario 64, but it's very interesting. It's a very fun game. Like, let me tell you. I actually thought about doing an LP of... Oh, got some lag there. I thought about doing an LP of Super Mario 63, and actually it's been on my backlog for a while of games to do for the channel, but I don't know. For whatever reason, my computer does not have Flash installed, so that's a little ridiculous. I find it kind of weird that my older computer had Flash installed, but my current PC does not. Like, you would think by now that all computers would have Flash installed, just by default. And I gotta take a shower. I actually haven't even had my shower today, which is really gonna bother me because I'm one of those women that's just like, if even just a little bit of stubble starts appearing on any part of my body, I have to shave. Like, I really have to shave because it bothers the hell out of me. Like, I don't know about you, I don't like my legs being itchy. Like, with any form of leg hair or whatever, it just ends up being like, it feels like you have bugs on your skin, and ugh, it's gross. It's super gross. Haha. Yeah, got you, bastard. I got you. I got you, unlike last time. Man, I'm actually... I guess 3 videos in, I finally found my stride again. I might as well just turn on Paper Mario after this. I already got you. Fuck you. Get out of my way. Let's see. Well, I guess we can probably talk about, like, some other shenanigans and stuff. I think I'm actually about ready to do a Bully again, because I've been doing my practice run on my PS4, and man, oh man, it's gotten me back in the mood to do some Bully. Although I have to get familiar with the controls again, because every single time I turn on Bully, I forget the controls. Because the controls are a little different from most Rockstar games, because, as I mentioned, like, the buttons were swapped for some of the actions and stuff. Like, X is still run, but for whatever reason, square is the attack button and circle's the jump button, when usually it's the other way around. And I'll never get used to, like, R1 being the one that... Excuse me, first burp. I will never get used to, like, R1 being the fire button and L1 being the swap button. It's really annoying. I don't know if it was like that in San Andreas, because I think that was the engine they used. But good lord, I don't like... It's not that the controls are bad, I can't get used to it, but anyway, let's crawl on in. A lot of coins in here, man. A lot of coins. I'd totally sleep in here. If it weren't cold, I would totally sleep inside this igloo, because it is so nice. Now, this igloo here is pretty interesting, because if you play the DS version, it's actually completely different. Like, it's a lot smaller for one thing, and it is the location of the 8 red coins, instead of, like, just being this random obscure area. I mean, you still find the Bob-omb in here that unlocks the cannon, but for whatever reason, they completely redid this area. I don't know if it was because, like, system limitations of the Nintendo DS, but for whatever reason, they just completely changed this area. I mean, there's still a high number of spindrift. In fact, I think they increased the number of fucking spindrifts in here. But, it's a little weird, I'll say that much. It's also pretty easy to get lost in here. Which is odd in and of itself, because this is a very small area, so you wouldn't think you'd get lost in here, but yeah, it's pretty easy to get lost, I tell you. How many times can I say that? Honestly, I'm kind of shocked that people haven't started making, like, counters for my videos. Like, for my Mega Man playthrough, I still can't get over the fact that I said keep that in mind so many times. It was, like, long time no see for the Sonic series. Like, good lord. Like, that has got to be, like, the most annoying thing I ever did. And part of me wanted to actually go back and, like, in the description, like, actually put a counter in there and, like, be like, count how many times I say this one phrase. And I would actually go back and watch those videos, and it has to be, like, at least a dozen times to my memory, and if not more, like, at least a couple dozen at minimum. It's crazy. And speaking of crazy, we got our 69th star. And that is definitely worth, like, messing with that mustache, man. It's so wonderful. Anyway. I'm getting kind of tired of the freaking second floor, so you want to know something? I want to go back down to the basement, because we haven't even done any of that yet. The basement floor has some pretty interesting stages. Definitely better than the second floor, because even though the second floor has some pretty memorable stages, like Tiny Huge Island, Tall Mountain, and stuff, the basement floor has some of the more memorable stages, like, Hazy Maze Cave, which is basically a sewer. Lethal Lava Land, which is a fire area that freaking Wing Mario exploits like hell. And then the oh-so-infamous desert stage, Shifting Sandland, which I personally can't stand, so we're not going to go there until, like, maybe a little later in the LP. Because I want to delay that as much as possible, because I fucking can't stand Shifting Sandland. Like, I don't like desert stages to begin with, and Shifting Sandland is, like, one of the most obnoxious desert stages in the entire game. Like, not that there are a lot of desert stages, but it's just, oh my god, it's so annoying. Like, this stupid rabbit, get over here. Fucking MIIPS. Yeah, that's right, bastard, give me your star. Give me that star so I can level it out with 70. Here we go! Not my best, here we go. Oh, we can go after Bowser now, hell yeah. And I think I will. But in Lethal Lava Land. Now, while I really do... I do actually like Lethal Lava Land, like, as a stage, just because I like lava levels and stuff, because, you know, got all the fire! Got all the fire! It makes you feel all the passion! But I'll admit, I don't like this music. This music is not very good, in my opinion. Like, it's probably the blandest song in the entire game. It's just, like, it's one of the more atmospheric pieces, and, oh my god, it's just... It's pretty lame. It's more... To me, it seems much more desert-themed. Like, it fits so much better in Shifting Sandland than it does here, but, I don't know. I think it kind of fits. Like, it fits the very, like, ominous, like, very dangerous kind of feel. Like, it definitely feels hot, but it just, I don't know. There's just something I don't like about this. Like, I don't like about Lethal Lava Land's theme. And it's actually called Lethal Lava Land on the soundtrack, so this song was made with this stage in mind, but I don't know. I would have gone with a different theme. Like, if you want my personal opinion, I would have chosen Melty Molten Galaxy for this particular area, and apparently the guys behind Super Mario 63, yeah, finally coming back around on that topic. The guys behind Super Mario 63 agreed, so, they actually replaced the main theme of Lethal Lava Land with the theme for Melty Molten Galaxy, and it fits so well. Like, Melty Molten Galaxy is like one of the grandest themes in the game, And I'm just so glad they chose it. Although, for whatever reason, they actually replaced Dire Dire Docks, which is actually one of the best themes, with Boy Base Galaxy. So yeah, there's actually a lot of Galaxy music in Super Mario 63, which I'm not arguing. Galaxy is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, but still, I mean, it's a little sad that one of the most memorable tracks in Super Mario 64 is not present. Like, the Bomb Battlefield obviously is still around, but Dire Dire Docks is not, so, you know, hello. Speaking of memorable bosses, this guy. This guy in Super Mario 63 is so fucking annoying. Like, him and Bowser are, like, two of the most obnoxious bosses in the entire game. Because it's so much harder to deal with them in a 2D space, because in 3D, there's so many other directions he can knock you, but in 2D, it's left and right, and the stage is pretty small, so it's so much easier to die. And Bowser himself is, like, he is annoying because you have to use the D-pad to fucking knock him around, and that's a lot harder than it looks. I mean, I've done it before. I've actually beaten Bowser before, but anyway. One thing I do appreciate about Super Mario 63, like, aside from, like, some of its downsides and stuff, is the fact that there's way more story involved in Super Mario 63. It actually does show, like, how Bowser took over the castle, and, you know, there's also, like, a few new stages and stuff like that. Like, I remember so many fun stages. Like, there was this, enemy gauntlet stage, which unlocked one of the green stars. And, of course, there was, like, I don't know. It made the game so much more interesting overall. And each stage actually had, like, its own little plot going on, and, oh, man, it's just, I like when a game will do that. And honestly, if they ever remade Super Mario 64, they could take, like, some notes from Super Mario 63, because that freaking, like, so many of the stages, like, have such good stories going on with them. Like, in, not Melty Molten Galaxy, in Lethal Lava Land, there's actually now a plot where the Bob-ombs and the Bullies are at war with each other, and it's actually pretty epic. Wait, no, it's not the Bob-ombs and the Bullies, it's the Toads and the Bullies. Like, there are actual inhabitants to each of these areas, and they have, like, you know, their own little scuffles and stuff like that. And it's really fun. It's a really solid game. Like, I think it's on Newgrounds.com if you're curious. There's actually a few versions of Super Mario 63. There's a couple of versions that have Luigi unlocked if you, play certain ROMs of the game, but they're also incomplete. But, you know, it's pretty neat to have Luigi playable, so, Anywho, stuff and things and stuff. Let's head off to another stage while we're at it. Might as well take care of that swimming beast in the cavern. Because, you know, that stage has been just kind of begging for Mario to take it on. But, you know, I don't really feel like dealing with the swimming beast in the cavern. I feel like getting hit by a rock. Ow! Man, I'm about dead here. That's not good. I don't want to die. I don't want to die to rocks. I only die to rocks whenever I'm playing Paper Mario, and even then, I don't like dying to the rocks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just watch any of the Chapter 2 episodes of Paper Mario, because what I call the Clefts in that game, which are really fun enemies, and I really wish they would bring them into the main series. The Clefts are these weird little rock things with these big cleft chins or whatever, which is why they're called that. The Clefts are, like, a really odd enemy that have high defense and are covered in spikes. But they often disguise themselves as rocks, which is why I often just call them rocks. It's kind of like how I call certain enemies just like, random things. Like, I call, like, the item boxes or switches and stuff, I call them boxes instead of just blocks. Because I just find that more fun. And sometimes I'll just call Goombas shrooms and stuff like that. Although, I actually have, like, my own names for, like... I thought there were Goombas here. I guess I'm thinking of the DS version. I do actually have, like, some of my own names for some of the enemies. Like, with the Koopas and stuff, I call them Turtle Doves because of the, Paratroopas. The Paratroopas, because they have wings, I always call them Turtle Doves. Because, you know, they have white wings like doves and they're turtles, so Turtle Doves. And actually, it's a nod to Super Skarmory, who's, like, one of my favorite retro YouTubers. He used to call the, Koopas ducks. I don't know why he called them ducks. Probably because, like, Koopa Troopas in later games just started looking like ducks. But I thought that was so funny, so for a while I called the regular Koopas ducks, and I called the Paratroopas turtle doves. But after a while, I just started referring to them as their official names, kind of like Super Skarmory. But another thing that I took from Super Skarmory was Mario being nicknamed Ozzy. And the reason he was called Ozzy in the Super Skarmory videos was because of this guy in Survivor who he thought was pretty awesome. And his name was Ozzy. And because he played a lot of the Mario games and stuff, he started calling Mario Ozzy. So, hey, there you go, it makes sense. Let's go over here. We're just cleaning this area out. Man! I keep forgetting just how short these stages actually are. Like, if you know what you're doing in Super Mario 64, these stages can just be cleaned out really, really fast. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I remember back in Super Mario Galaxy, we could barely get, like, 3 stars in a 20-minute time frame. But in Super Mario 64, look how many stars we've gotten! Like, we gotten at least 6. Like, hell, maybe not even 6. I think, like, what, were we at, like, 67 stars or something? Or 66? And now we're, like, 76, so we've gotten over 10. Hell, we may even... I think we even have 11. Like, shit, man. Like, shit, we've made a lot of progress. And yes, I would call that amazing. So, thank you, game, for punctuating my stupidity. Anyway, I think that's a pretty good way to end off the video. Thank you guys for watching this trio of craziness. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next time on Super Mario 64, we'll just continue here in the basement. And we'll probably clean out Hazy Maze Cave and Lethal Lava Land, and then we may do some more shenanigans in the second floor, or we may even take on Shifting Sandland. I don't know. Oh, so many options. I need a way to end off this video. That'll do. Thank you. I've been that one with the deep voice. Boy!